Okay, in today's video, we're going to install some GForce springs on this X3. If you're not familiar with GForce, they're based out of Tennessee, and they are, I think, one of the best suspension companies out there. We actually have a set for mine and Sherry's machine that we're going to be installing at a later date, but for now, we're going to get this customer set up with the spring kit. And one nice thing about GForce is they actually come with a black coating. It's almost like a round liner. And they tell you exactly where to set everything up. So your preload, your crossovers, everything like that. And this is for a 24X3 with Fox 2.5. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Alright, we're going to start off by putting this X3 up on the lift to get it off the ground. We're going to take the tire off. I'm going to come in here. That's an 18mm bolt and nut. You're going to take the bottom one off. You're going to come up here and you're going to take these two 18s off. And then also this 18 here. And then the front suspension shocks and everything will pull out. And then we're going to put it on our handy dandy spring compression tool.
Are we missing one of these?
No, I don't think that goes on there. That's just like an adapter. I think we use it without. And then the same goes for the rear. 18mm at the bottom, 18mm up top here. Alright, next step, hook the shock into the contraption and just turn it till it tightens up. And you take this bottom cap off because it's upside down.
Do you have to push that thing down?
Yeah, I'll grab a screwdriver. There's a piece of rubber on there that you have to take a screwdriver and push down. Okay, now that the rubber is down, pull that off. And then you can release it. I might have to hold it with my foot. It can be a little bit hard. Other way. Turn towards you. There you go.
How come it just doesn't fly off?
I don't know. Like it locks in place. Hold on a sec. Let me get it. Okay, good. Alright. One shock loosened, and then we'll take all these springs off. Not going to need them, but we're going to reuse the crossover on this one, or I should say the separator between the springs. And now we're going to adjust those crossovers so they're going to tighten against each other. And then this Spannard wrench looking nut down here, we're going to adjust that to what it says on the paperwork from GForce. Okay, so on this paper you're going to see the front is a 10 300 and a 14-inch 300. So we have the 300 here, 14-inch and a 10-inch. So these will be for the front shocks. The larger one on the bottom, smaller one on top. And then we have the 10 250 and a 16 300. Which this is a 10 250 and this is a 300. So these will be for the rear shocks. Okay, we'll show you here the difference from the OEM Can-Am spring to the GForce spring. You can see the bottom one is longer and the smaller one is shorter. Okay, I'm going to repeat the process with the rear shocks, only these ones are actually keyed in. So there's a flat on here that this can only go down one way and on one way. Basically the same thing. You gotta squish down that rubber, pull that shock cover off.
I need one more hand.
Okay. Alright. Quick four-handed process. You can see the square key on that lines up with that. It's hard to see. Can only go one way, which is this way.
Right here.
Yeah. It's a lot better than using those Harbor Freight ones that bend and fly apart on you. Look at that. Easy peasy. Basically the same process. We're going to get all these on the bench. Once they're on the bench, we're going to loosen up the crossovers and the top spanner wrench things. These big nuts here. We're going to set them to the desired height here, which I believe is on this exact setup is 1.5 inches. 1 to 1.5 inches is where these go, and then the crossovers we're going to set at a later date. Alright, we're getting ready to set these up. This machine is fairly new, so there's not much rust or dirt in it, but we've seen some to where, you know, these will barely even spin. This set's pretty nice. Just take yourself a wire brush, clean out the threads.
I got the plastic one.
Maybe just a little bit of, you can see what come off of it. Maybe just a little bit of WD-40 will help. And then,
Makes your life easier.
yeah. So we're gonna set the rears on this particular machine. What you get probably won't be the same. They base it off of cage, accessories, weight, all that stuff comes into play, and they set it up specific for your riding style and your machine. The bottom of this one, we're gonna set the rears at 7, which it is. The front was 1.5 from here to the bottom. And then these crossovers are going to be set after the shocks are all put together before they're put on the car.
It's easier to loosen this before you put it on, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead and loosen it just like these ones. Just loose to the touch here. Okay, and then once that one's loosened, we'll set the springs on. And we'll go from there.
Yep.
Next step. Put the springs on. So the little one first. Yep. Little 250 and then the big 300. And then the separator. Then the big dog, big 300. That's a beefy spring.
Heavy. Okay.
Okay.
You gotta wait, you gotta go up. Okay.
Alright. Try to do it. Hold the camera. Hold this.
Probably enough, huh?
Yeah. Over here. Okay, go ahead and leave it up.
Okay.
I think this needs twisted a little bit. Can you see up in there?
Oh, yeah, it does. I
Okay.
can do my hand. Tighten it back up.
I can't tell which way.
I think my way. Toward me.
Oh, hold it. Is that it? Okay, good. I should just set the camera down. I can't do it one-handed. There we go.
You did
Okay,
it one-handed.
I got it. Okay, that's it. That one's done for now. We just need to set the crossovers.
Yep.
Okay, now with the suspension or the shock at full droop, not hooked up, we're gonna adjust these crossovers to be, what's the bottom say? So the rear is 4.5.
So he said from this, you add
You
a
just add a
inch.
1/2 inch if you measure from the outside because of the lip. So you would go
So-
5 to the bottom. That is to the bottom. It's pretty cool that he actually writes down on the sheet where the base starting point is. This is just a starting point. It might need tweaked after it's set up. Alright, it's just a simple process. Putting it back in how it came out.
What's up?
You want to set this suspension up for us or what?
I don't think I can do that.
I think the next step is to put the tires back on, put the tie rod on, and then we will lower this down to the ground, take it out, run it a little bit, work it back and forth, make sure the suspension settles. Once we know that, we'll come in, we'll take a measurement for ride height. I think he wants to set it up 16, 17, something as high as possible, making sure this is a 64-inch machine, that we don't have too much angle on the axles. We like to stay around 18 degrees of angle on the axles. Okay, we have the ride height sitting right at 16 inches. It looks good. It's a good bit of ground clearance for a 64. I wouldn't really recommend going over 16. So everything was set nice. Everything fits nice. I took it out for a ride. You can see a little bit of dirt on the springs. It handled great. I am really excited for this kit. I've heard great things about him. I've talked to him in person. I know our buddy John has GForce springs. So me and Sherry actually have a set that will be going on ours, which will probably be on the Can-Am Crew YouTube channel, but we wanted to get this on here. And simple install. GForce really lays it out for you. They make it pretty simple with setting it up. We did actually have to go up in the front. The rear, we set it and forget it, didn't have to mess with it, but the front, we had these set at 1.5, and we were sitting at like 12, 13 inches of ground clearance, so it actually went down to 3 inches, and that put us right at, like, I want to say 15 7/8. I'm not going to mess with it for an eighth of an inch. Put some miles on it, see if, you know, maybe it'll sag down. We have to readjust it, but for now it's sitting at 16 inches. Really happy with the way it feels. Driving it around out there, it felt great. The body roll wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it doesn't have front sway bars, and it handled like it did have sway bars. Very plush feeling. So once he gets it out on the trail and sees how it is, you know, driving on the harder stuff, the rocks and the trails, gives us some feedback, and then, you know, we can always take that to the next customer and let them know real world experience, until we get ours set up, which will hopefully be in the next couple of days. And then, you know, we'll be able to tell you personally what we think of them. And right now we're on shock therapy springs, so it'll be interesting to see the difference. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button for us, help us grow this channel. And let us know what you want to see on the channel next. We have a lot of things coming up I think you guys are going to be really excited for. But, you know, we're open to ideas. Let us know in the comments. You know, this channel can be fun. It can be strictly work. You know, whatever you guys want to see, we're willing to put in the work to make that happen. So let me know in the comments, you know, what you guys want to see, and we'll get it done. Thank you.